What up? I'm back. Today is Wednesday, February 7th, 10:50. 10 fucking 50. I'm a little overwhelmed for sure. Emotional, yeah. But I'm always emotional. Energy and motion. Energy and motion. Energy and motion. Need you alive, you know. Need your breathing. And as much as like everyone wants this fantasy of heaven. I mean, everyone's heard of the concept of heaven. This make-believe idea of something that happens after time is done, where your loved ones go, and you hope that they go. We all hope for the best for the people that are no longer with us physically. But I will say this, energetically, they're always here until they're not. And in the makeup of you, in the memories of you, in who you are today, those people are you. In the way you talk, the way you reply, the way you think, they helped form you. And so as long as you exist, the loved ones that are no longer here, they are with you completely. Every good memory, every bad memory, every tear, every hug, every kiss, I mean, every smile, every dance, every joke, every fucking angry fight, everything. They've never left you. They're imprinted on you like a tattoo. All of eternity. And whether people are in your life now and they're still walking around the world, but they're not there, like, they're there. Like I said, every interaction that you have with somebody is always. Like, they stain. They share oxygen with you. They share time. They bless you and you bless them. Even if the interaction was what you quote-unquote see as negative. It was a lesson. It was a lesson for them. It was a lesson for you. Everything in this earth plane is literally equal give and take, and you don't have a fucking choice from that. It is an exchange of equal energy. And all energy is good, because all energy is of the Creator. It really is. Everything is an exchange of energy. And then the way that you perceive that energy is the way that you receive it. I mean, I look at my life and it is what it is. A lot of the emotion now that's in me is the grief of that. It's having to walk away. I mean, I told somebody today, she was like, we were talking, and I was like, dude, I hold on fucking forever. It's like, it is the fucking worst. There's nothing that hurts more than giving everything always, and then just not getting it in return. Like, I was like, there's no other fucking choice. There's no choice. You have to give everything. You just have to. There's not a fucking choice. It just doesn't mean you have to stay fucking forever. But like, I love completely. It's my detriment, for sure. But it doesn't mean I have to be around forever. I mean, I look back at all these things and it's like, man, some of this shit's so fucked up. The shit that's happened to me. And it's like, I just allowed it to happen because of the goodness of my heart. But fucking embarrassing, to say the least. But it is what it is. I'm bred for it. I talked about being a punching bag, and it's like, who's stronger, the puncher or the punching bag? You know, it's like, I am. I'll be the fucking punching bag because I can take it, but it doesn't mean I have to. And like I said, dude, I understand, like, the point of me. My path was to take a beating. To take a motherfucking beating and then still stand. And that was the path that I chose. I just glutton for punishment. And I understand that, like, at the end of the day, I fucking win. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you think you are. My way is true. My way is right. And I will be standing in the end. My seeds will blossom. And you will know whatever it is that I fucking did. For the most part, everything that I've done was for a higher understanding of love. For a higher understanding of love. Like I said, I mean, I'll be your devil. I'll be your adversary. That's what the devil means. If I have to break you, I will fucking break you. And then you can rebuild. But you have to be broken. You have to have no other choice. It's the only way you're ever going to change. Because if you're comfortably numb, you're fucking comfortable. You can do that forever. I know. I did it for as long as I can fucking remember. In all reality. So now I'm just like, I'm like, I'm having to grieve everything, and it's because I never had time to grieve, because I was in survival mode. You don't have fucking time to stop and to think, and you have a fantasy and you're chasing a fantasy. We all live in a fantasy world, and it's all controlled by the outside of you, and you're just filling your time with things that. With pleasure, and believe me, pleasure is fine, and fuck whatever you want to fuck, and drink and smoke and party, and this is for entertainment purposes only. But it's like, when you come out the other end, like, really think, are you better off than you was before? Fuck no, man. And you gotta chase another fucking high. You can't even sit in a room quietly. I've been starting in the mornings, usually, like, before I would turn on my music, and like as soon as I woke up, like, just start my music, go turn the shower on, listen to music, and now it's just like quiet time. Just be fucking quiet, man. Just listen. Just fucking listen. Listen to nothing. Quit coping. I met someone the other day. This gets weird real quick. But it was a one. She had a cope tattoo and she had a hope tattoo, and that's been sticking in my head for a while. Like cope and hope. Like the answer's in between. And that sounds shitty if you understood from my perspective what I'm saying. But the answer is in between. In the middle. And like I said, from one perspective, that sounds something. But then in another perspective, like I said, what is hope, you know? Hope is like, I have a hope tattooed on me. I have two Hopies tattooed on me. One on each arm. I drew them. And then my tattoo artist put them on there for me. I drew one with my left arm, my left hand, my left part of me, and the other with the right. I was walking with somebody today, and you know, as we was walking, everything was cool. But then we got closer to the road, and in my head, I was like, I need to be on the other side of her. Because that's where cars are at. And so, like, from my perspective, that was just my masculine, like, protection technically kicking in, but I didn't change it because I realized I was in my left side, which is my pride side, which is my nature nurture side, my feminine traits, which is ultimately what I love the most. I love to nature nurture. I think masculine traits themselves are very simple, at least from my perspective. I think probably the majority, well, for me, just masculine traits are simple. They're pretty easy. They're straightforward, action-oriented, protection. They are support, but I don't know. Masculine is a simple concept to me. It's just being steadfast in yourself and I don't know. Who cares? You know, and then that's some daddy issues that I have, I guess. That it's like I learned all that shit, how to be masculine, and by just acting, and I didn't need a fucking father for that. I just watched and learned, and I look at myself. I have a lot of pride in that. I have a lot of motherfucking pride. You know, and really, like, when I'm saying this, when I'm speaking this, I'm flicking him off. Whoever. Kind of anger. It's righteous anger, I would say. He'll take it as offense. He'll have shame and guilt for it. That's on him. It's not on me. But really, like, for me, it's like, fuck. You know, I look at all these kids. I look at America. I look at all these concepts, and it's like, man, broken fucking home, broken fucking home, broken fucking home. And, all these people without fathers. Deadbeat motherfucking fathers. You know, and in one right, that's how people perceive them, but in another right, sometimes the devil that's not there is better than the devil being there. Sometimes the abuse or the neglect that you can see is better than when you can't see it. It makes you have to pick yourself up and go do it yourself. You know, I didn't have time to whine and cry and be a little bitch. You know, I had to just do it. I had to, you know, it's not good, it's not bad. My brothers and sisters had to do the same thing. So, my brother and sister, my brothers and sister. But then, like I said, now that it is what it is, I'm a fucking grown ass man, and you know, I feel shitty sometimes, at least for 1 second, and then I'm like, man, fuck this, man, and I, you know, I kind of sometimes I feel like shame and guilt coming off of other people, and this is the thing that I've learned the most. It's like, as you go through this journey and you find out who you are, like, you're gonna get fucking triggered. People kind of project on you all day, every day. They're gonna tell you the way you're supposed to do it. They're gonna tell you the best this, the best that, and it's like, who knows? The best for you is not the best for me. Your previous life experience is not mine. I can tell you what I have done, but I'm not telling you what you should do. Other than, you have to look at yourself first. You have to put that airplane mask on first before you can help anybody else in this world. You gotta be okay with you. You gotta be okay before you can help anyone, really. And I look at my past, and it's just fucking, I'm over it. Like, I just fucking over it, man. And like I said, the only way I can get over it is if I don't go back to the past. Meaning, I don't go back to the people that are still in the same energy of the past. Does it seem shitty? Am I neglecting people? Fuck, I guess. But I left everything I've done, everything. It's online. Everything is exactly what it is. I left myself for you. I did not neglect anybody. I just chose myself for once. And it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. And honestly, like I said, for the most of part, I don't care. Like, it's not. I have one person that I kind of feel. But maybe that's, like I said, that's like a trauma bond type of stuff, maybe. Or just like, I don't know. Maybe that's my greatest thing, you know. But at the same time, like, I talked to somebody and they were like, this other person says that, you know, I feel neglected, and then the other party goes, well, I feel neglected, you know, like, and it's like, in that concept, I'm going, yeah, well, I felt neglected, and then what I did kind of felt like I neglected them, and then that's where I have shit, and I feel bad about it, because it's like, but, like, I felt neglected first. It doesn't make it right, it doesn't make it wrong, I don't know. But that's just kind of how, whatever. And then you look at yourself and you look at, like, I was guarded, so maybe I pushed away, or this or that, or maybe it wasn't even like that, or maybe it was a game to them, maybe it wasn't. I don't fucking know. It doesn't really matter. And like I said, I know I do things so crazy, and I look at myself, and I look at myself, and I look at everything I do, and it's like, like I said, this whole journey, like, I always question if I'm a narcissist, always. And I have one buddy, and I say that, like, you know, I have narcissistic ideas. I understand what they do. Like, I've studied them for my whole fucking life. Like, literally, I know what they do. And so, like, when I do things, I mean, other people could perceive them as love bombing or this, and I'm going, no, like, I don't know what else you fucking call it. Like, if I like you, I like you. Or if I feel this way about you, I'm gonna tell you that. It's fucking just honesty from my perspective. I can see how from other people perceive it differently, but then I keep just checking myself and watching, making sure, and it's like, no, I only have a finite amount of time with you. Like, I'm gonna plant every motherfucking seed that I can, and only time can tell. Only time can tell. You know, if I see something fire in you, I'm gonna say it. And you call it love bombing, I'm gonna call it fucking just my honesty, my purpose, my truth, my love. Understanding that me speaking my mind makes people run. Me being me triggers people. Maybe even being perceived as a liar, perceived as this, perceived as that, and it's like, I don't know. You perceive me the way that you perceive me, and that's that's what I'm learning. Well, I have learned. It's like I can't control anybody. I can't control the way they perceive me. Like I said, I could give you the fucking moon, and you wanted the sun. So like I can't make anyone happy. That's their choice. That's their choice, and then I could tell you the roadmap to get the treasure, but like, you're like, well, why don't you go get it for me? And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going to get the treasure for you. It's your fucking treasure. And so now I'm the bad guy, and then that's me in my life. And you understand that when you overgive, you're enabling, and it's okay to give. You should give, but you should give with an open heart, and don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And really, that just means like do everything with good intent, and don't expect anything in return, and only give with an open heart. And like I said, and only time will tell. Only time will tell. It doesn't mean, I'm a human, so it doesn't mean I wouldn't want or wish or hope for this or that, or deeper connections, or people's attention, or time, or focus. To say I didn't wish for those things or want those things from people when I do things, that would be a lie. But I do give, and the totality of me, understand that I can get spat on, I can get talked bad about, I can get made fun of, and it's not going to change. It's not going to change my love. I'll love you in the midst of a mocking party. I don't care. Because I understand it's just anyone who does that anyways and makes fun of. Like I said, it's inadequacies in themselves. They're jealous. If people make fun of other people, like whoever's doing that, whoever's holding book clubs and chat groups, they're just insecure little children. And I would even hate to say that. They're just insecure adults. Because children are innocent until they're made to not be. And so I take everything back to the playground. Day one playground. Before they're taught hate. Before they're taught fucking religion. Before they're taught sex. Before they're taught malice and anger. They do have anger, but they do not have malice. Not in the way that they still have innocent anger. Well, someone hurt me, and they protect themselves, or they get whatever. And like I said, I learned from the idea of children way before I learned from an adult. I do not respect adults. Like 99.9% of adults, I do not respect them at all. They're just embarrassing to me. As I embarrass myself as well. I've gotten better. Last 2 years for sure. Last 1 year, way better. And now I'm kind of on the road of, doesn't mean I won't hurt people's feelings. And it doesn't mean I don't know beforehand how something will be received. But in the totality of things, in the higher understanding of existence, Again, I will be your devil. Because I know in the long run, love will prevail. And sometimes you have to be disciplined by a good father, and I'll be that. And by a good mother, I'll be that. I'll be both. I am both. And only time will tell. Only time will tell. The way that this system works, I would hate to say it's complicated. I would say it was a web. Just a gigantic web. Say the web was 30,000 square miles. Obviously not in a square, but in a circle. Not a perfect circle. But a circle. The idea of a circle. And then the web, just like a spider web. The only difference is the spider web is overlapping, all touching energetically, meaning that the vibration that you hit on one side of the spider web is gonna vibrate ever so onto the other end, and back and forth, like maybe a string of a guitar. Like if it vibrates on one end, it's gonna vibrate on all the ends, meaning cause and effect, butterfly effect. Wind over there is gonna create wind over here, in the sense. Can you see it as a human? No. Not based on your understanding or your awareness, really. It's just your awareness. As you can't even see wind. Anyways, per se, you can see the effects of wind. You can feel the effects of wind, but as far as seeing it with your eye, unpredictable unless there's something in the wind. Dust, smoke. But what it is that you do, the actions that you do, and the time that you're in right now, they play effect to the other end of the spectrum, all spectrums. Everything is intertwined and everything is one. Every breath that you take is a breathe, a breath for a tree, or, you know, this and that. Everything is equal give and take at all times. Everything is in and out. Everything in this grid system is always, I would like to say it like in a weight ratio type of idea, where everything in this plane of existence, again, one weight in the beginning and one weight in the end. Means if there's a grain of sand over there, there's a grain of sand over here, but really, no matter where you move the grain of sand on the plane of existence, it is always the same total weight. And it's the same thing with energy. Everything is always. It's always been just one weight, one mass, maybe would be the better term to explain it. It's like if you had a dinner plate, whatever is on that dinner plate, once you started counting that dinner plate, and if you wish to just move it around, the weight is always the same. There's always the same amount of resources. There's always this, there's always that. Now, you're looking at things in the idea of weight, because if you was to burn a tree, you would say that now it turned into a gas. But that's what I'm saying. It's not based in a weight, it's based in energy. Energy doesn't technically have a weight. It's kind of a mass idea, but it's just like, it's a snow globe. per se, and once the snow globe is filled, it is always the same. Now the elements can change, or ice, water, steam, kind of that concept. But like in the end of the day, like I said, everything is just energy. There's infinite energy in the world that we live in now. It never stops. It never deviates. It's always and so. It's always and so. Now the way that we use resources as humans, it is what it is. If culled right, everything is sustainable. But being that humans have gone from the basic hunters and gatherers, and in that idea of hunters and gatherers, not of the new world that we're in now, the one that literally destroyed itself within a matter of years, but up until this point, I mean, there was a time before, but the haughtiness of men, the pride and ego and technology, and them not even understanding the way that time even works, and how we are going back in time. Technically, we're not going forward in time. Everything that you do know and understand is somewhat backwards. It's forward in your mind, but in our reality, it's backwards. We go from being simple to complex when simplicity is the answer. Simplicity is the answer to everything, to joy, to love, to peace, to kind, to understanding. We get the imagination, the evil wants and desires of men, the always need for something new. To never be content. To be chasing the grass is always greener. This is kind of the idea right now with humans. Consume as fast as they can. Run from themselves. Seek external validation in everything. Prove their worth based on materialistic stuff that they can have, which is usually just something that can burn and evaporate, which we all can burn. Everything can burn. Except humans, per se. The vessel can burn, but the soul, the energy of that is always. The plastics, do they have a vibration? Yes. But materialistic stuff itself, the things that we consume, your Mercedes-Benz and your Aston Martin and your Aldis, your big house, is it made of wood? Yeah. Is it made of material, raw material that does have vibration and come from living things? Yeah. But the way that it is used, it is not technically appreciated the way that it needs to be. The difference between a lean-to or a TP or something back in the day when appreciation still existed. Like I said, in the right understanding of culling or using and appreciating resources that are given to you, animals. I'd hate to say sacrifice themselves for you, but in a sense, they are here for you. But here for you is not here for you to consume, technically. Not at least on the first understanding of things. They help control the environment, keep the systems going and running, to filter out processes and to create this and to create that, and keep the system able to handle life. Like I said, we could overcomplicate this in every scenario. I mean, it is a huge amount of information, to say the least, where every rabbit and turtle and ant and bug has its position in this web of existence. Everything is needed. Everything is part of the system. And as humans eradicate things, it doesn't mean there's never really like a full extinction of things. You assume that there is, but no. We protect what needs to be protected. But at the rate that you're going, you're not going to eradicate nature. You're just going to eradicate yourself. Ultimately, you guys giving up power to this and that, to the economic system that is failing, that has failed from the day you started it. And you try to overcomplicate and control. And put a worth to something that is dead. It's a bartering system, yes. And at the beginning of the idea, yes. But you instantly got greedy. It's the greed of man to want more and more and more, which makes zero fucking sense. I gave you 2 hands. I gave you 2 feet. The implementation of technology, whether it was a backpack, the ability to carry extra, I mean, that's ultimately the downfall of everything. The ability to hoard and to store. You turn your eyes away from the universe and what some would call faith. That the system itself was made for you to live day to day in the highest potential of you. All your basic needs were met. It doesn't mean this grid system in life is not hard. It is. But with hard work comes great joy, comes pride, appreciation, good ego. You create worth in yourself, which ultimately leads you back to me. It's like a good game. A game that has skill, planning, sacrifice, understanding, timing. Something worth playing. Risk, outcomes, partnerships. But not easy. Not just a pushover, not giving you everything. You can't appreciate anything when you're given it. Like, it's just, in one right, I would say. We kind of see this. You can see this now in your world. You get trust fund kids. What do? The spoiled little fuckers. You know? It just is what it is. It doesn't mean a trust fund kid who earned it or was taught the right things to appreciate, to work for what it is they got, and then at the age of 30 they got the trust fund. You know? After they did this, or they did that, or after they got married, that was the clause. Or after they did this or did that, you know, there's a clause in there, you know, good father, good mother, would have clauses in there that would make you get to a certain level in order to get your inheritance or such thing. Meaning that you would have the skills to be able to handle that wealth. You wouldn't swindle it, so you wouldn't lose yourself in it. So you could build a good foundation. It's the idea of hardships, I guess, man. Like, you have to be able to, like, function as a human. You can't become incapacitated, or anytime something happens, or someone shits in your Wheaties, you cry and whine, and who knows? Like I said, this is a very serious game with very serious repercussions as you see them. This is real in the sense that it's real, but in the grand scheme of things, it's grand. But the way that you guys perceive it, it seems like the end of the world, and that is not. If you could understand the reality of things, and as I said again, the energy of you as always, there's technically no beginning or no end, as you know it. It would be like it would almost be like you turned on the video game. You loaded in a new game, you created a character. Technically, there's a start, right? Like when you're building your character is already an adult. But in all reality, how do you know? Well, you don't remember, you don't know when you was born, per se. Because you just created a character. And so from your perspective, you think that you were born. Well, if I'm 30 in this video game, then evidently I was born 30 years ago. In this game, I didn't get to remember that or perceive that. But I'm starting this new character, so I'm 30. But, like, who's to say that there was nothing before the 30? And who's to say that there's nothing after the video game is done? And in all reality, like, who's to say that there's even a start or a stop? And that's what I'm trying to say, is like, you can't even comprehend the understanding of a loop of time. Hence the idea of a time loop. There is no start or stop technically from your perspective. It's not even in your realm of understanding, because you're on a loop. And you're perceiving it based on the human understanding that there has to be a start and a stop, or at least a start on a loop, that whoever created the loop for you had to put you in the loop, had to create the loop itself. And that is not the case. It just says a loop is a loop. There is no start, there is no beginning. It's a loop. And as far as your understanding goes, in the time loop, there is not a start and a stop, and the beginning and the end. You don't understand that. You're on a time loop. Alpha and Omega. The beginning and the end. That's why there can only be one of them. There can only be one Alpha and one Omega. Because you're on a time loop. And you're not capable, technically, of starting or stopping on the loop. There has to be an external something, like a roller coaster. You're on a roller coaster. You sit in the chair. If the person pushing the button never stopped, you could never get off. And then as time progressed, at some point you would be like, I don't even remember when it started, because I'm on a fucking time loop. As far as I can remember, I've been going in a circle. I've been on this roller coaster since I can remember. All I can remember is going in a fucking circle. But there is something external that technically started and can stop your time loop. But the time loop of you is so vast and big and long, it's not in the ideas of human years, what you would understand of a lifetime. Because again, you are an energy. And again, energy is always. Energy does not become depleted the way that you perceive it does based on your electronic grid of understanding. More so you would look at it in the idea of a vibration, but maybe a sound wave. Sound waves do not stop. You perceive that they could be lessened. If you was to scream, that if you could perceive it, if you could see it, the way that maybe you see like the symbol of a sound wave, which is like lines, like a wave, and just a bunch of those lines going in one direction, like that goes on for always. Once you say or speak something, that is why it's so very important to not speak harm or bad ill or will towards other human beings, because once you speak it, it is always. That's why you don't wish on people's downfall, or that's why you don't pray to a god that this or that, especially negative things or what you think is the best for somebody else when you don't even know. Because the way that is worded and thought is like, oh, you know, I wish he would do the right thing or this or that. Like, you don't even know what the right thing is. From your perspective, based on your life, yes. But from somebody else's perspective, somebody else's rules, somebody else's understanding, somebody else's path, you don't know their path. You don't know their position. You don't know what they're coming from or what they're going to. Well, he's doing this and I don't like it. Well, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not the right place for him. Just because you are living within your guidelines and rules that you have adapted to and created for yourself doesn't mean those are the rules for him. You are your own judge because of the words that you speak. Every word that you speak is rule, is judgment. You have to live by those judgments. So like if you say this, you say that, like you have to be held accountable to that thing. Because you created, you spoke it into existence. Always, you're a creator. That was the highest intent. It's to make each individual person a creator. So the highest manifestation of creation. Well, I speak on jealousy the way that I do. So jealousy is the root of all evil, technically. At least the way most people use it. Everything that anybody does technically can be used for good if you use it the way it was intended, innocently. So the idea of jealousy would be a good one, would be, I don't know, someone has something that you want or that you like, and then you do what it takes to get it. Doesn't mean steal it. And it's not even that you like what it is that they have, really. I'm trying to think what jealousy even is. It's so weird. It would be like, I'm jealous of somebody's having a nice house. Well, if you really, when that sparks, you're supposed to go, well, I need to get a nice house. If that's what you want, don't be jealous of it. The jealousy is an energy. It checks yourself. It's like, well, maybe I'm not doing enough. You know, if that's something that I want, then I need to figure out a way to make more money to get that thing. But not to take it or envy. It's just an initial energy in motion for 30 to 90 seconds. And then anything after that is technically just, you're not living in the now anymore. Now you're stuck in the past. And that's what the grand scheme of things is like. When you live in the now, everything is innocent and sweet. Everything is needed. Everything is of God. Everything is of the Creator. Everything is as it is intended to be. But the moment that you hold on to something longer than the now, and you carry it forth into the future with you, which is what it would be, then when you go into the future with it, you really are being held to the past, which just kicks you out of the now. And then in that concept, then you are ungrateful for what it is that you have now, because you can't even see what it is that you have now, because you're so stuck in what you don't have. And when you're stuck at what you don't have, you're stuck in the past. Again, because you're thinking about the past version of when you didn't have it, and how you don't have it now. Then how are you going to get in the future? So then you're stuck between like 3 timelines. And then you're just incapacitated because nothing's really happening. Or you do this, or you do that, or you go, I don't know, do weird shit. You guys do some weird fucking shit, man. Try to make people jealous and... I'm not good enough. I'm not this. Why are they happy? I'm not happy. And nothing in life is as it seems. It's your perspective. Like you see somebody smiling, you're like, motherfucker, you're smiling. I'm not smiling, so then you get jealous. And you get mad. There's no reason for him to be smiling because I'm not fucking smiling, so I'm pissed off. Not even understanding the fucking hell and the darkness that he came from. Or that maybe he's living in hell. He's just choosing to try and overcome and be happy. Try and see the light in the darkness. Just trying to be fucking life. And maybe help somebody else. And then all you do is try and fucking tear somebody else down, which literally just keeps you tore down. When if you just went to that person and was like, why are you fucking happy? Or I want to be happy too. Let's be happy together. I don't know how the fuck you're doing it. Maybe they would help you. Maybe you can help each other be happy. And at the end of the day, like, we're all the same fucking thing. We're all going through the same journey together. We're all stuck in the same fucking, I hate to say it, prison. And everything you do go through is technically your fucking fault. At the end of the day. Any suffering that you go through is technically your fucking fault. As I said, because it is your judgment on yourself that you call forth. That you allow to happen. It doesn't mean it's difficult. I mean, easy. Think about maybe the sins of your father, the sins of the son. Well, they are until they're not. Doesn't mean it's easy. Sometimes you gotta walk away from your father if you don't want his sins. Sometimes you gotta walk away from your mother. Sometimes you gotta walk away from your brother and your sister. Sometimes you gotta walk away from the things that you think that you love. And then once you walk away, you're gonna realize that that's not love. It was manipulation, it was control. In order to be happy, you don't need much. And if you can walk with faith, you understand that your needs will be met. The key term with that is needs. What are your needs? Not what are your wants. Because a lot of times, the way that this thing shows up, the way that life shows up, is it will give you what you need, but you reject it because it's not what you think that you want. And like I said, you will lose the biggest fucking blessings in the world because you look with rose-colored glasses on what you think is right, and it tends to be wrong, at least at first, or it's not the way that you thought it would be, or it's not what you're attracted to, or what you've been attracted to in the past. I perceive this for myself. When you're stuck in your traumas of the past, or you're stuck in cycles, and you're stuck in what you feel is regular. You come through narcissistic families, like you understand chaos, you're good with chaos, it's comfortable, it's comfortably numb. You can manage chaotic human beings. You know what's coming, you know. And you think that that's love because that's the only love you've ever felt. You've never even truly felt unconditional anything. Except literally from animals. That's what animals are here for. To show you unconditional love. At least pets and dogs. Whatever. Horses. But when you understand, when you really become aware, you're going to watch those interactions, and a dog's going to get pissed at you. A dog's going to get pouty. A dog's going to feel neglected. It doesn't mean they don't love you unconditionally. A horse can get an attitude with you, or this or that. Try and test you, but it doesn't mean they don't love you unconditionally. Like I said, most animals tend to love unconditionally. That's their job. The only difference is there would be like a difference between a cat and a dog. Most cats have a little bit different personalities where they love you unconditionally, but it doesn't mean they love you when you need them to love you. They have a little bit different personality, or they don't love you the way that you need them to love you sometimes. Like they come get their attention when they need it, but they do love you always. So they do need technically the independence, whatever, sometimes. And that's the greatest, for me, that was the greatest thing that I needed to learn was, to love myself and to be able to stand on my own. Even though I was hyper independent before and I did everything on my own, I still, when it came to the idea of like love or like companionship, I would become codependent or morph into the people pleasing idea. Where, like I said, this is shitty, but it's like the people pleasers are disappointed and hurt because of them. It's not the other person. It's because of them. It doesn't mean the other person doesn't take advantage of or take, but the people pleaser is the one who's actually in power. The moment you stop pleasing, That's when the other person looks at you bad because they got used to you giving. But ultimately, who's in control? The people pleaser is. And that's where I'm going. It doesn't mean like if it's not difficult to walk away, or you're going to be deemed a devil or a bad person, because you will. But it's your fault. Like, I'm serious. It's every person's fault. Each individual person's fault for what it is that's going on in their life. It sucks, man. It's a hard fucking pill to swallow. It's not easy. But he did me so wrong. He did this. He cheated on me. He did that. Yeah, he did that, sure. But you, what did you do? You allowed this shit to happen. You kept it going. You didn't speak up. You kept overgiving. Well, he'll change. Well, she'll change. Listen, the way that I do things, I can't be mad at anybody else but myself. Well, I see the best in them. I see max potential. I change so they can change. So you only get your heart broken. You only get hurt. You only get drained. Because you just keep giving and giving and giving, and they just take it. Because you're giving it. It'd be stupid not to take it.
This could be the death of us. I wish I could wake you up. We're falling away, falling away. We're falling away, falling away.
I can't take back my love, though. And that's the other concept. That's what people don't understand. They feel like when you're not in their presence all the time, or you're not putting yourself through fucking torture, or being in their presence because they're just gonna act childish or try and make you jealous in front of them and hurt your feelings and play these old games because they need energy, because they don't know how to create energy or attention for themselves because they're stuck in old patterns. And they don't think that they can give themselves attention. They don't love themselves. And so like for me, I just found out, like, at the end of the day, like, dude, I can do anything. I can bust my nut. I can bust a nut whenever the fuck I want. Like, if that's the one thing that I need that somebody else could use against me, like, of course, obviously sex and all that stuff, you go into narcissistic relationships and all this, they use it as a control mechanism and stuff like that. But like I said, and love, like, I love for myself. I go out in nature and feel unconditional love, because it is nothing but unconditional love. And so when you go through this journey, and it doesn't mean you don't need someone to hug you every now and then, to listen to you, but there is an idea when you can do everything you need to by yourself. It's just is what it is. That's the basic DNA structure of you. And the only thing that you technically can't do is procreate and create a new life. But in all reality, as shitty as it sounds, why do you need to create a new life? For what? For what? Have you even truly thought about it? When I started this journey, my whole life, like, one of my biggest goals, like I said, was for me to have kids. And it was based in the understanding of, I'm going to be a good dad, I'm going to be a good mom, or whatever. My kids are going to have a good fucking life, even if I have to do it on my own. If something happens and I got to raise my kids by myself, they're going to have a better fucking life than I ever even shook a stick at. Better than I could even fucking imagine. Because I know not what to do. You know? I know how to not be. And then as the journey progressed and I started going through it, and I started raising myself again as a kid, and then, you know, as a teen, and all this, and giving myself, healing my childhood self, and giving him everything that he needed, and then everything that he wanted as well, within reason. I allowed him to live out what he wanted to do, try, think, explore within the safety of me, without taking things too far to the extreme where I couldn't come back, but still allowing free reign. Not judging him, not judging her, as is kind of in the way that I did it, was I kind of played both sexes, kind of allowed both concepts of me being masculine and feminine, allowing exploration of both, even though the vessel of me is a male. I just dabbled in everything in the concept, just allowed to do whatever. At least let him, me, the child version of me, explore and feel, and then make up his own mind without crossing judgments. And like, in that right, it doesn't mean it wasn't embarrassing for me as the adult. It doesn't mean, yeah, it wasn't embarrassing, because it sure fucking was, man. But in the grand scheme of things, letting him test whatever he wanted to do, the child version of me, it was just innocent. It was whatever. Well, I don't like that. I'm not gonna do that. But I tried it. I don't fucking like it. Here we go. Next. I don't like that. Next. Very simple. It's very simple to cross out what you want to do and what you don't want to do. By just trying it. Exploring it. Just having fun. Just being innocent. Living in the moment. 10 minutes. 5 minutes. 2 seconds. And I look at the understanding of me and like how I was broken so bad as a kid because of somebody else's idea for me. When it's like, at the end of the day, like, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I wasn't harming anybody. Like, the exploration of a child is, that's how they learn. And so for you to restrict, especially me, I don't know about other kids, but me, I have to do things for myself to figure out the outcomes, and then to see if I want to fucking keep doing it or not, if I like it or I don't. This is how the fuck you learn. I don't know. I don't see any other way to learn. Like, the truly hard imprint learn. Like, you have to do the thing. You could understand and read a book, but if I've never been to fucking space, then how do I even know anything about space? I don't. Not truly. I can blind faith think. But until I've gone to space and flew around the moon and landed on the fucking moon, I don't know shit about the moon. And to say that you do is a fucking lie. Oh, the sun is 26,000 miles away. 2,600,000 miles away. You don't fucking know that. Have you been to the fucking sun? No. So to take that concept on blind motherfucking faith is ignorant as shit. It's just ignorant as fuck. Like, in all reality, it's fucking ignorant. And there's no definite motherfucking proof. Well, we use this and that, and we put a laser and we bounce it off the fucking thing. Did you? You bounced it off the fucking sun. And you know for a fact. No. Bullshit. Same thing with carbon dating. Most science itself is fucking retarded. There is no absolute. Zero. Well, if you can do the test 3 times in a row, then there's absolute. It's not. If there's one outlier ever in any infinite possibility, then the answer that it is that you think is true is not. And that's where I start to go, I just take control out of everything. I don't fucking know so much. I don't know how turgor pressure really fucking works on the plant. I don't know why the fuck it opens up in the morning to let the dew in. I mean, technically, that's what we think it does. And maybe we do know shit like that, whatever. However, we don't know like the whole process of why it does it. Maybe it doesn't do it every time. Maybe it only does it sometimes. Who knows? If you watch every single plant, maybe like plants are smart enough. Maybe plants are alive and they are. Dude, some turtles, like tortoises, will eat. When they go through the desert, they'll eat a plant. They'll just take a bite, they'll chew it up, and then they'll spit it out. And if they get sick, they won't eat it. But if they don't get sick after some time, they'll go back and eat it. And they can eat poison. I look back at my life, man, and first of all, my life is fucked up. And when everything does come out, there will be some hell to pay. Because it's worse than it even people can even perceive. I used to remember, dude, I used to throw up all the time when I was younger. And it really didn't click a bell until today. It did. I started to remember things, but this is fucking weird, man. It's fucked up, for sure. Fucked up, for sure. But my whole life, my body, it rejects poison instantly. It just always has. And I didn't understand it until I started getting older, and I would watch myself. But my body rejects instantly, which is a blessing. I used to hate it, but now now I understand. Now I understand. Yeah, this world's crazy, and there's a lot of information. This sounds really weird. Sometimes I talk about things that I don't know. I just like to talk. It helps me get out my emotions, energy, emotion. It is sad. I mean, like I said, I'm overwhelmed. My heart hurts. It's always hurt. I talked to somebody today, and this is kind of talking. I said again about overgiving and like at some point like holding on forever, but I was like at some point you gotta fucking walk the fuck away. Like this, you just know. You already know. Everybody knows. Like it's nothing on you. And like the moment that somebody uses the Bible or some kind of control, it's control. Or they're doing that thing and they're implementing shame and guilt on you. This is the only reason why I say things. The Bible's fine, man. The Bible's good. the way that it's interpreted and used for control mechanisms to instill shame and guilt on you, to take you away from your divinity, to take you out of your innocence. It's evil. And then it's the evil of men, pride and ego of them. And it tends to be so that anyone that's preaching as hard as they are in concepts of the Bible and the rules and regulations of it tend to be doing the act of that. Whatever it is. Or it's something that they're going against and then they're having to resist it. And so they, whatever. And then like I said, if you have jealousy or this or that against other people, or they're telling other people that they're wrong in the way that they're doing things. And like I said, it's jealousy and envy. And ultimately that's what it is. Well, I'm pissed off because you got 7 wives and I don't have 7 wives. So you get to fuck a different girl every night. And I can't. Because my God says so. Or whatever it is that you think. And it's like, no, man. Like the rules that you speak, again, like I said, that's the judgment that is called on you. Now I'm different. Doesn't mean I wouldn't or partake in something like that in the future. I'm not saying I would never. But for me, like I said, mine's based on me not wanting to neglect a partner or have her feel guilt or her feel shame or not good enough by me bringing in other partners. Now, if she's okay with that, then that's a different story. You know? But then again, like I said, who knows? I don't know. Like I said, my understanding is based on not wanting to hurt somebody or make them jealous. Because like I said, there's nothing that pisses me off more. I mean, it's a childish game, but it's like trying to make me jealous in front of them. Like, it's just shitty. Or bringing they're just fucking embarrassing to me. And it's just like at that point, like when you're trying to make me jealous, like I'm done. Like, at least I'm walking the fuck away, because it's like I'm not like everybody else. That's just a shitty thing to do. And it doesn't, you know, and I try my best to not do that, even though I could perceive, well, other people could say that I do that, or it could be, or whatever. So no, I don't. I try not to do that, but then again, at the same time, whatever. I'm trying to be the best of me. And like I said, in the past, maybe I did do it more. And then again, like I said, I had somebody kind of explain to me how I could be perceived as leaving things open. Like open invitations to come hang out or come talk, but like not setting something up. But then, you know, kind of leave people maybe think I'm gaslighting them or something, or playing a game with them. And it's like, no, like from just my upbringing, I don't want to force anyone to be with me. Because my whole life, like, I just felt obligated. That's how I perceived it. To be with these people that ultimately I just, number one, didn't trust. For the most part. But that's because I didn't maybe trust myself. But then again, like, I watched their actions. So, like, the way that I learned that stuff was like, maybe they loved me unconditionally. However, there was conditions on everything. Or they would use or say, well, we adopted you, we loved you, we accepted you into our family. And then, you know, and then, well, we're your family, you know, you don't treat family this way. Da da da. And then that's when, you know, when I walked away from my family. And like everyone's always talking about blood this, blood that, and family, and they're like, you're supposed to help family. I'm like, well, or blood, blood's thicker than water. And I'm like, you guys, first off, blood doesn't exist for me. I've never met anyone that even is my blood, technically, I guess, that I know of. So whatever genetic ties or bullshit or obligations that you guys think you have, or that I have, never had that. And second of all, like, ever since I was little, I just felt the jealousy, whether it was for my brother or my sister. Like I said, my little brother, I didn't really ever feel like that. But there's a lot of stuff. I always felt jealousy. So like I said, then I deemed my light, and I couldn't be me, and I just mimicked everybody else to fit in. I simulated, and like I said, when my mom died, like I only loved one person my whole life, really, and that was my mom. But it was like maybe I never knew how to love at all, because it was a slavery type of thing. It was a bond. I owed her everything, and so in doing that, like, I did love her completely, but I wasn't capable. I gave her everything in return, everything I had. And so that was the only way I knew how to love, was to give everything completely. And so that's what I thought I had to do. But in doing so, I lost myself. I didn't exist. Until like the moment she died, I was like, a scroll was up in the fucking air, and it ripped up, and like, this is finished, it's done, I'm free.
This could be the death of us. I wish I could wake
And then I had shame and guilt with that, because then it's like, from my perspective, it's like, I'm fucking free. And then like my brothers and sisters, who that is their mom, blood mom, and all that bullshit. Like, I felt bad for them. I was like, well, there goes their mom. But it wasn't my mom, it was my owner. Even though I loved my owner. She's my mom. But it was more of, like I said, a transactional type of thing. And there was always a distance between us, especially, yeah. And so whatever, man.
this could be the death of us.
So I still don't perceive like
I wish I could wake you up.
I mean, it taught me how to surrender completely. It taught me how to love completely. However, that extreme is negative if I can't love myself in that mix. If I don't know who I am, and I form and merge to somebody else, and I'm neglecting myself and abandoning myself. So it's not the right answer. And so it doesn't mean I'm not going to love somebody unconditionally and completely, and that's what I've done. Like, I walked away because I had to at some point. It just wasn't a benefit to me from my perspective, and maybe I pushed it away or was afraid and stuff too. So I mean, it's my fault, technically, from my perspective at least. 50-50. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe the other person did nothing wrong. Who knows? From my perspective, I could. It's kind of the idea of the people pleaser. The other person didn't do anything wrong. Or like, you see the potential, you put somebody on a pedestal, and if you put somebody on the pedestal, then obviously you put them on the pedestal. So it's not even a pedestal that they can stand on. And then again, if you was to look at yourself and you start to become aware of yourself and maybe your insecurities and then like I said, are overwhelmingly giving somebody everything, or like it's too much, and people don't understand how to even appreciate that, or maybe they don't even feel worthy of that. Like I said, there's a lot, and it all literally stems with you. So you just have to, like I said, just give yourself time. There's no other way. You have to find out who you are, how you can stand alone, how you can love yourself alone, and then you're able to come back, you know, and be a better human being, a better man, a better woman for whomever, because you are that for yourself first. And then you understand that, like, even if you guys, you and multiple people that you loved or whatever, your team was thrown into a fire, like, your obligation first is for you to move. And if you're incapable of moving because you're fully engulfed in somebody else and you're waiting for them, you're watching out for them first, like, you're gonna die. Because maybe they don't want to move. Maybe they want to get burnt by the fire. So like I said, you have to save yourself first and lead the way. And it sucks. It sucks bad. Because all you want to do is save people. And it's like, I can't save anybody but myself. And it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's definitely not your fucking fault. Because each individual person has to choose what it is they want, what it is that they can handle. If they want to keep going, or if they want to go to sleep, take a long rest. You can't carry that guilt forever. You shouldn't carry that guilt at all. I should have been there. It's not your obligation. As long as you can know that you did the best that you could and you loved the hardest that you could, that's the best that you could do.
This could be the death of us. I wish I could wake you up. We're falling away.
I mean, it does get tricky. Like I said, you could have guilt and shame, and I do. I do. And when all you want to do is just love somebody completely and like let them know it'll be okay. It's like if they can't accept that, or you're not what they think that you are, or you're not in their eyes this or that, like it only really truly hurts yourself. When I think of the idea of hope, it's like I said, my whole life I just looked at hope being external, like an external savior, and it's like, no, that is wrong. Like, you're your own hope. You're a hopey for yourself, and you're your own Superman. You know, you're your own Batman, you're your own Joker, you're your own Ant-Man, you're your own superhero. It's only you who can save yourself. Really. Like if you was to jump in front of a fucking train and I jumped in front of there and pushed you out of the way and saved you. Maybe, what if I'm not there next time? Because even if I saved you today, like, you gotta save yourself tomorrow. I can't always be there. It's not my obligation. And then to put that weight on another human being, it's too fucking much. So really, like, that's a lot of what I've done too. It's like maybe some people saved me, and man, that's why I loved. That's why I loved so hard. It's 'cause, like, people helped me through, and so then, like, I try and repay that. But then at some point, it's like, if it's not reciprocated, then it's like, well, I gotta keep moving. I gotta keep growing. I gotta keep saving myself, and I can't just stay back and keep pulling somebody else up and saving them. It's not my obligation, because then I neglect myself, and then I'm stuck stagnant, and I'm stuck getting burnt in the fire. And so then, like I said, you do have shame and guilt when you have to leave people behind, but I never really left, and that's why I've done everything the way I have, and that's why I posted everything, and keep doing what I do, and my art's what it is, because it's like I'm never gonna leave. I never want to leave. My love is always. And so whether or not this or that, like, at the end of the day, I've done everything for me, but it doesn't mean I didn't have you with me, because you've helped make me. And then you look at everything in life and understand that every smile, everyone's with you that's smiled at you. Everyone that's cried with you is with you. Everyone that's held you, that's hugged you, that's loved you, that fed you, that's danced with you, that laughed with you. They gave you time, attention, and focus, whether it was for 1 second or two, whether it was a joke, but to me it was real. And to you it was real. Whatever feelings and emotions that were unexplainable and crazy, they were real. Scary, sure. But if it's not scary, like, if it's not scary, why do it, Or why, if it's not scary, why even try? Like, it needs to be scary. Life is scary. Like, all the best things in life are scary, because it's the unknown. And I talk about that. I like surprises. When I got my latest tattoo, I just went in there and I was like, dude, you can do whatever, man. Like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, dude. I trust you. So, like, I just laid there and he did the tattoo, and then I didn't look at it until he was done. And when I got up to look at it, I had no idea what it was gonna be, and it was euphoric, to say the least, because it wasn't even in my realm of existence. It wasn't even in my idea of imagination. It was just such a fucking surprise. And then that's kind of how I look at my life now. As everything goes forward and this happens, and the place that we was gonna have my art show got hit by the fucking tornado, and like everything keeps getting pushed back, and this and that, and I keep getting this and that, and like, I try and just keep moving forward and keep my head high, and like, I've sacrificed everything for this, and I just keep moving forward, and really just walking into the unknown. Am I afraid? Sure, man. Is it scary? Fuck yeah. I have no idea what's next. But in that understanding, that's where the greatest joy comes. That's where the greatest gratitude comes. That's where the greatest appreciation comes. It's understanding I did everything I could to keep walking forward. And then so everything that comes into my life is a total fucking surprise. And I could have never saw it coming. And it's fucking fun. It's fucking fun to give up surrender and control to like everything outside of you, and just understand that you can just walk around with the greatest intent of love, and then just be ready to receive. Just be ready to receive whatever comes in store. And like I said, it doesn't mean you don't have this or that, or you have hopes and desires and you want it to go this way, but you take away the expectations of what it is that you want, because your higher perspective, your creator, understands what you need. And so it doesn't mean it's fucking don't hurt. It hurts sometimes, or it's embarrassing, or you don't know if that's the route you're going. But you just gotta be ready to be able to accept whatever it is that comes, in whatever form, in whatever shape, in whatever color, in whatever height, you know, in whatever this or whatever that. Like it's what's meant to be for you will be. Just, are you willing to accept it? Are you willing to accept a good thing, the best thing, the right thing, the true thing, the easy hard thing when it shows up? I love y'all. Peace.
This could be the death of us. I wish I could wake you up. We're falling away, falling away. We're falling away, falling away. This could be the death of us. I wish I could wake you up.